Hi, today we'll be discussing how to utilize SurveyMonkey as your extracting and voting tool to do a club visioning session. But first, let's start with SurveyMonkey. SurveyMonkey itself is a free service. However, to optimize your utilization with club visioning, we would recommend that you have a paid subscription, and that allows you to use the SurveyMonkey templates that IVFC has already put forth. So to do a paid subscription, it's really up to the district as to what works best for you. This is December of 2020, and their current pricing, which may be different when you view this video, depends if you want to do a personal or a business plan. The plan that I'm using currently is a personal plan. I do use this for other Rotary-based district and zone events, so I more than get our money's worth. And there was a time when this service was subscribed by my district when I was governor. So that would be one thing to consider if you're going to utilize this. Is the district currently using SurveyMonkey, and is there an available account that you could utilize for visioning? Or is the district willing to invest in using this? And if so, I would encourage you to look at other uses other than club visioning, or in addition to club visioning, that you could use this tool for. So for instance, evaluating assemblies, conferences, and whatnot. So you'll see that this annual subscription is a little over $400 a month, and that allows me to do quite a few things that we'll need to use with club visioning. It doesn't limit my responses. Now, this is limited to one user. There is an additional fee if you want to do more of an enterprise-based plan. So for now, we're going to illustrate it as if a single account is being used, and that could be set up with a single username and login that could be shared among other members of your district. So again, we're going to assume that this is a subscribed district and you are utilizing the template that has been sent to you by the IVFC team member. You'll see on the available surveys that I can utilize, I have one that's worded Club Visioning Voting Exercise Round 1 Template. So the first thing I want to do is I don't want to mess with my template. I want to make sure that I copy this to create a new survey that I will change the name. So in this scenario, I'm going to change this name. I'm going to take copy out, and I'm going to change this to the name of the club. So I'm going to call this ABC Rotary Club Voting Exercise Round 1 Template. And then you'll want to save this. You'll also notice with the template, we have the branding, and the name of the club now shows. So if you're familiar with SurveyMonkey, this won't be too busy for you, but if it's something you've never done before, you'll want to do some additional training on general SurveyMonkey before you take this on. For this, we're going to assume that you've had a basic understanding of utilizing SurveyMonkey. So you'll see that I am in the design survey. That's very important because under design survey, you will actually be extracting directly into the design screen. So what that means is whomever sets up the SurveyMonkey, the scribe will need to have access to this account to be able to extract into the SurveyMonkey screen itself. So during the extraction, we will actually be typing live right into the design screen. Now let's go over a couple of other things that are set up. And if you want to utilize the free account and not use the template, we do have the PDF version of this on the IVFC website that is available to your district visioning chair. So you'll notice under, if I wanted to change the name, or if I was doing this from scratch, I would type in edit. This is directly off of the writing exercise. We now extract more than one question, sometimes into the same voting block. So in this example, or increase our ability to adapt, is actually made up of the first two questions on the writing exercise. Under the options, we want to make sure when they vote that they vote exactly the number of dots that we would have used in a physical extraction and voting example. So we want to set this up for the option to have exactly 4 answer, and you want them to require an answer. So just like when we gave them the dots on the sheet of paper, we want them to come back to the table without any of their dots left. And this ensures that that will happen. So that's an important option. So you'll want to save that setting. You'll also notice that when this question was set up, I have this set for check boxes. Check boxes is important. You have other options that's available, but if you do multiple choice or one of the other settings, you will be limited and it will truncate how many extracted ideas you could have. And we certainly don't want that. So you'll notice when I hit edit, now all the boxes are available. I have dots in here just so we could illustrate multiple screens. Normally this would come up with one. The little trick here is when you do set this up under options, if you want to have 4 votes, you have to have data in at least 4 of the fields. So I could have just put a dot in each of these boxes and had 4 and then continue to extract on. So when you extract, we will have an extractor actually working with the audience. They will call out the ideas, and just as you've seen in the videos, then you would type the answers into the directly into the SurveyMonkey. So I'm just pretending I'm answering a couple of what does your club stand for questions. So you would just go on, again, extract the first 2 questions off of the writing exercise. And then we would go on to the next question. So when it's time for the next question, notice SurveyMonkey automatically saved it. And all I had to do is click on the next section and I'm into the second voting block. How did we expand our reach? So again, the next 2 questions on the, I apologize. The next question on the writing exercise is our club size. So this one you extract directly into the SurveyMonkey itself. Again, you want check boxes, but this is when you would just be typing in numbers. The next question, expand our reach, is when you get to the 3rd and 4th questions on your writing experience. So about your public image and your attributes within the community. So you can see you just keep carrying forward as you're following the writing exercise. The enhancing our engagement, same thing, you would extract directly into this. When we get into our community and international service, that's how we've increased our impact. When we get into the fundraisers, again, same thing. You'll notice now we have 2 votes, so different questions have different votes, and those are all included in your training materials. And again, this template will have this preset for you. The Rotary Foundation, which we always do. And if the club has their own foundation, you would then do the second foundation question specifically for their club foundation. If they do not have their own foundation, then you would actually, after you get done with Rotary Foundation, you would delete this question if they don't have their own club foundation. So once you get finished with the extracting, then you would go into collect responses. So this is what we illustrated on our training materials where we actually need to choose. So I don't have answers. We'll see how this works. Basically, you'll click on collect responses. And what you're going to do is share a survey link. So when you click on share the survey link, again, we don't really have results here. It gives us a customizable link. Now, if you want, you can change this customizable link to the name of the club. Spelling helps. And you can save that. It just helps it stay a little more common. If it's a club like Springfield Rotary, there are a lot of Springfield Rotaries, so that may or may not be available. If it has already been used in the past, it will say you can't use that one. So once you have this link, you will copy that link. And now you're ready to go back to your Zoom, and you would actually put this link right into the chat box for your attendees to copy and paste. You would allow them to vote, or again, send them off on their own to do the vote. And then you prepare for the second session. If you recall, in our training materials, to prepare for the second session, after they have all completed the voting, and you will know that by looking at the results and seeing how many attendees you had and how many votes you've received. Little challenge here because we don't have their names on this survey, so we don't know who completed it or who did not, but it's really important to try to get all of the votes, just like you would on site. We don't want one member just not doing any of the dot voting. What you will do once this is completed, you'll have the extracted ideas. You would go back to the beginning, just like we did. And what you're going to do is copy this round one voting, just like we did at the beginning. And just like we changed the name and took the word copy off, what we would do is change this, keep the same club name. You'd get rid of the word copy and change it to round two. That will then become the catalyst for their second round of voting. Once you've received the first round of voting, you would analyze the results. And as we demonstrated on the video, you can sort your results by priorities. You would eliminate the items that were less voted on. And then you would go back into your original your copy that now says round two, and under the design, all you would do is just delete out the answers that had 0 votes or just a few votes, and you would narrow this down for a round two voting. After you delete the less chosen items, again, you would go back to collect responses. You would create a new link for the second round of voting, and then you would distribute that to your attendees, either in an email if you're doing both votes between sessions, or in a chat link at the beginning of your second session if you're going to be doing that virtually. So I hope that this helps you get a little more comfortable with SurveyMonkey and utilizing that as a tool. We have had districts who have successfully used other tools to extract beyond SurveyMonkey. So you could use a tool like Google Forms, for instance, and other survey tools. The limitation and why IVFC formally does recommend SurveyMonkey in a paid subscription is because you can utilize the templates and the output delivery is much more user-friendly. So we hope that this has helped you get a little more comfortable with virtual delivery and extracting into SurveyMonkey. Thank you for your time.